Chapter 10. Cash is at my side when we walk into the courtroom, just as he has been for the past week and a half. This time, though, I'm not escorted there in the back of a police cruiser. This time, I shared a breakfast with my parents, with Cash, and with Steffi beforehand. This time a weight has been lifted from my shoulders. My testimony today is going to hurt. It's going to be bitterly painful. I have to do it, though. There are some parts of my story I can't share. I'll tell them how I managed to go all around the world. There's no point in lying about that. The more truth I tell the jury, the more likely they are to trust me. If I'm caught in a lie, they'll think none of my testimony is credible. But I won't let them know Steffi helped me. I'll make up a name, or say a friend. I won't do anything that might put Steffi on the radar. Steffi told me she knows the government has tried to bust her multiple times. She's far too good for those idiots to catch her, though. She takes much pride in that. There isn't a system Steffi can't crack. Her official job is working from home for Google, but that work takes maybe an hour a day. Her true work is off the books. Steffi's so damn good at computer hacking that she doesn't need a dime of her inheritance to survive. She makes so much money on the black market, and that money can't be traced back to her. She'll be a billionaire at the tender age of 21. She doesn't act that way, though. Well, in most aspects of her life. I know she owns a few $1 million horses that she loves to ride. Most people have those horses for shows, but not Steffi. She has them for love. She also spends so much money on face creams, it should be criminal. She buys all of the beauty products, but I don't want to know how much she spends on them. She slipped once and left a receipt out for lotions, creams, masks, and serums. It was for $15,000. Yep, I didn't missay that. It was $15,000. I refuse to look up prices now for fear of being unable to use them out of guilt. I have to admit our skin is buttery soft without a single flaw. But who in their right mind spends $1,000 on a mask? I'm sure a lot of celebrities do, but their faces matter. That's their job. Steffi and I don't need to have flawless skin, but we like having it. I haven't used my products in over a month, and scrubbing my face the night before was luxurious. I forgot how good serums feel, darn it. I've gotten used to some of the finer things in life. I wonder how it feels to some who are wealthy and then lose it all. Is a person able to go from the high life back to mediocrity and be okay? Maybe I'll find out. Are you ready to begin, Mr. Abernethy? Judge Croesus asks. Yes, Your Honor, Cash says. He stands and I follow. I walk to the witness stand and continue my testimony. I'm sworn in for the second time, swearing to tell the whole truth. Before Cash asks me a question, the prosecution stands. Your Honor, I'd like to object, the attorney says. To what, Mr. Clinton? The judge asks. We don't need another drawn-out day of Miss Diamond speaking about her first husband. We obviously know that no bigamy occurred with the first marriage, Mr. Clinton says. Your Honor, Cash faces the judge. Miss Diamond's testimony of why she's done what she's done over the past 11 years very much does matter. We need to start at the beginning to fully comprehend the whole picture. This is simply a ploy to trick the jury into thinking the defendant is some innocent, broken woman. It's manipulation, and we don't care why she did anything. We only care about proving she's broken the law, Mr. Clinton says, spit practically flying from his mouth. He doesn't like how this hearing is going. I disagree, Mr. Clinton. We'll proceed as planned, Judge Croesus rules. It's apparent Mr. Clinton wants to argue more, but he simply sits back down in his chair, then leans over and speaks to the other counsel at his table. Miss Diamond, please continue from where we left off yesterday, Cash says. I sigh. Yes, of course. I drift back in time, remembering to leave out anything that's going to implicate my best friend. I might think about it, but I'm not going to put it on the record in a court proceeding. I open my mouth to begin to speak, leaving the courtroom once more. 3 hours ago, Bentley was taken to surgery. When the doctor walks into the waiting room where Steffi and I sit holding on to each other, I gasp. The doctor doesn't need to say a word. We look at him and immediately know. He tells us anyway. Maybe he doesn't need to say a word, but we need to hear it. I'm so sorry, Mrs. Lawrence. Your husband didn't make it through surgery. I hear him, but I can't compute what he's saying. He didn't make it through surgery. What does that mean? Have they stopped surgery? Is he back in his room? I know this isn't the case, but I need to hear what I already know is true, what I already feel in my soul. Where is he? I hear myself ask. Miss Lawrence, your husband has died. We did all we could for him, but the internal injuries were too severe. His body was broken in too many places. The doctor reports. These are the words I need to hear. I don't want to hear that he passed. What in the hell does that even mean? Passed. Like a person passed by you on the street, or a person passed the salt. Who in the world had come up with the saying that a loved one has passed? It's wrong. It doesn't give finality. Yet we all use these words. These words absolutely piss me off. Of course, everything right now pisses me off. Bentley hasn't passed. He isn't walking down the hall past people and suddenly going to turn around. No, Bentley has left this world. His soul has departed his body, and now he's simply an empty shell. He's no longer with me. He's no longer with his sister. He's just gone. Forever. Can I see him? I ask. I don't know if that's a good idea, the doctor says, his scrub hat in his hands. I won't believe he's gone if I don't see him, I say. The tears still haven't started. I'm in denial. We were laughing 24 hours earlier, making love 36 hours ago, and talking to each other just 3 hours ago. He can't be gone. It isn't right. It isn't real. Okay. Please let my staff cover him. I'll have a nurse come and collect you when he's ready. He turns and leaves. Please come with me, I say to Steffi. She's barely holding it together next to me, but as long as we lean on one another, we'll somehow get through the next hour. Of course, Steffi says. I need to see him too. I need to know he's gone. It takes the nurse 20 minutes to come and get us, and then it's a somber walk as we move down the sterile hospital halls. None of us speak a word. We finally stop at a door. My heart thunders. I want to turn and run. I want to live in denial. Take your time, the nurse says with compassion. She turns and leaves us, letting it be our decision if we step through the door. Steffi and I don't speak as we stare at the closed door with the blocked window. I'm not sure how long we stand there, but after some people quietly pass us in the hallway, we move forward. I grab the handle and open it. And here is Bentley. He's covered from his neck to his toes. His eyes are closed, and he appears as if he's simply sleeping. His mouth is relaxed. No more blood on his face. Everyone says their loved one finally seems at peace when they die. What in the hell does that mean? I've heard too many times when people say their loved ones are no longer in pain, they seem peaceful. What liars they are. He isn't peaceful. He's simply gone. How is it peaceful to be dead? Liars. Everyone who's ever spoken to me about death before this moment are nothing but liars. Steffi and I move forward, our hands clasped as we approach Bentley's bed. I love you, I say, my voice choked, but no tears falling. I'm utterly cried out. I love you so much. I reach out, and my hand hovers above him. I want to shake him awake. I want to wake up from this damn nightmare. I expect to hear him say the words back. I can't remember a time he hasn't replied to me when I tell him I love him. It's so odd to not get a response. I love you too, Bentley. I'm so sorry we've lost you. But I know you're with us. I know you can hear us. I can feel it. Steffi says as she places a hand over his still heart. Her words finally open my eyes and tears silently stream down. He's not here, Steffi. He's gone, I say. The words aren't thrown out. They're cried out. I hurt so damn bad. He's here, I promise you, Steffi says as she takes my fingers and clasps them with hers. She then brings up his hand and makes a triangle over his heart. It might not be beating anymore, but he's here. And he's not hurting. He's with us, Steffi insists. No, he left us. He left me, I say, my body beginning to shake. Oh, honey, he'd never leave you, not willingly. Sometimes God has other plans for us. It's not fair, and we won't know what those plans are until we join our loved ones in heaven, but there's always a reason for everything. There's no reason for this. It's senseless. Bentley is a good man. He should be here with us right now. It's wrong to take him from this world. He's only 18. He has so much more life to live, I insist. So, we live for him. We keep our final promises, Steffi says. I can't. I just can't. I stop talking as I lean down and lay my head against Bentley's chest. It nearly kills me to not hear his heartbeat beneath my ear like I have 1,000 times before. How can't I hear his heartbeat? How is it right that it isn't thundering in his strong, healthy young chest? Steffi puts a hand on my back as I weep while holding on to my husband. He's growing so cold that I'm shaking, but I can't let him go. I won't get to be in his arms again after this moment. I know that when I walk from this room, I'll never see him again. Steffi doesn't rush me. She doesn't say a word. She just lets me weep as I say goodbye to the man I love. After every tear is ripped from me, I finally push myself up. I cup Bentley's cold cheek and look at his dear face. I will never love anyone the way I love you. Do you hear me? I won't keep that promise to you. I can't. I love you and only you. My tears are finally dry. I lean in and press my lips to his cold ones for the last time. There's a part of me that expects them to move beneath mine. Of course, that doesn't happen. I finally stand and lean on Steffi as we turn away from the empty vessel of Bentley's body. I refuse to allow myself to look back as we leave his room. Neither of us talk as we walk from the hospital. There's no reason for us to stay. There's nothing left for me to run after anymore. Bentley is gone. I keep telling myself he's gone, but I don't believe it. I know this is nothing more than a nightmare. This isn't real. The first week after Bentley's death passes in a blur. I don't eat, I don't sleep much, and I don't socialize with anyone. I stay in a guest room in Bentley's house, unable to go back home, but also unable to go to our bedroom, where we made love for the first time. He and I had just started our lives together, and now it's over. On the 7th day after Bentley's death, we're at the family cemetery on the property his family has owned for 4 generations. Hundreds of people are standing with us, hats in their hands, tears on their faces as my father, my beautiful father, says a prayer over Bentley's casket. I'm seated, my legs too weak to allow me to stand. I've said goodbye to Bentley over and over, and still, it isn't sinking in that I'll never look into his eyes again. I stare at his oak casket, begging it to open, begging that this is all a horrible nightmare I'm going to wake up from. But it isn't. My father stops speaking, his own cheeks wet with tears, and then he thanks everyone for coming and asks them to leave for the lowering of the casket. Everyone drifts away. Steffi and I stay in our seats holding each other. My father approaches. You might not want to see this. It's very traumatizing for a lot of loved ones, he explains. We need to see it, I say. My father nods. Then he sits next to me, and my mother sits next to Steffi, and the 4 of us hold one another as the crew respectfully comes over and lowers the casket into the ground. None of us move as Bentley's casket is sealed, then buried. He lies next to his parents in the private graveyard belonging to his family. I'm not sure how long Steffi and I remain there, but long enough that the sun begins to set. My parents don't try to push us, and no one says a word. Finally, I know it's time to go. We can't remain there all night. My parents kiss our cheeks, then take their leave. With Steffi at my side, we turn away from the grave and begin the long walk back to the house. My parents move to their golf cart and allow us the privacy we desperately need. We need this time. I'm not sure how long it's been since I've spoke, but when I say my next words, my voice comes out as a squeak. I didn't know it was possible to miss someone this much, I tell her. I know, Steffi says. I feel as if half of my heart is gone. You're the only one who keeps telling me he's still here. I don't want her to quit saying that. Even though I argue with her, it helps me believe I'll one day be with him again. I know our pain is equal. I know she's hurting as much as I am. Our love for him is unending, and it's beautiful. She smiles at me, a sad smile. I do believe his spirit is here. I truly believe that. But like you, I'd love for that spirit to be in his body. I wouldn't mind a zombie apocalypse right about now, I say. I never thought I'd want the same. It's a lame attempt at a joke. I wonder if I'll ever have a real laugh again. I'm no longer sure. I know I can fake emotions. I've faked smiles and nodded as people have told me how sorry they are. But I'm angry and I'm sad. I can't seem to feel anything else. Charlie, you have to keep your promise to my brother, she says, suddenly intense as she stops walking. I can't, I simply tell her. I'm not going to argue about this, but I know I can't keep my final promise to him. I grow angry again. He never should have asked me to live without him. It was wrong. He was wrong to make that request. She grabs my hands and looks deep into my eyes, just as a brother has so many times in our lives. It's almost painful to see his eyes without seeing his face. I want to turn away. but I don't. I feel that half of my heart is gone now with the loss of my brother. Now it's your job, Charlie, to live 2.5 times bigger to make up for that loss. Do you understand? I can't, I say again. I can't live without him. You have to, Steffi insists. You can grieve for a while. That's natural and it's needed. But you can't grieve forever. He'd never want that. Would you want him to give up his life if it had been you that had died? I let her words process in my brain. Her words are trying to break free. I've never thought of it like that. No, of course I'd want him to live. I'm not so sure I'd want him to run off into the sunset with another woman, though. You wouldn't right away, but you'd eventually want him to find happiness. And the reality is that we're not meant to be alone. We're supposed to find love and happiness and have a bunch of little rugrats to drive us nuts and to carry on our legacy. We're supposed to live our lives, she says. I can't imagine that right now. I know you can't, and I'm not going to push you right away. But you have to keep your promise. I feel that to my very soul. I feel like Bentley is screaming at us to live our lives, screaming at me to help set you free. He doesn't want me to hurt. He loves us both too much. It's been a week without him, and it already feels like a year. I know, sweetie, I know. It feels the same for me. Sort of. I can't possibly know how it feels to have my other half ripped from me. But I know how it feels to have my brother taken away. It's not good. I love you so much, and I'm so glad we have each other. Let's mourn together, and then let's live our lives and honor his last wishes. I'll try. I finally concede. I'm not sure if I can do it, but I'll certainly try my hardest. That's all I can ask right now. She gives me the tiniest hint of a smile, and I know I said the right words. I wouldn't want Bentley to grieve forever if he lost me. I love him so much, I'd always want him to soar. I know he wants the same for me. But not yet. I can't do it yet. He'll forgive me for grieving for a while. I know he will. I also know I'll never forgive myself if I'm capable of forgetting him in a day. How do I keep this promise to him, Steffi? How do I live when all I want to do is die and be with him? I ask after we begin walking again. The sky is colored with purples and oranges, giving a beautiful desert sunset. I enjoyed many sunsets with Bentley. I may never enjoy one again. I turn away and look to the ground. Everything that had once brought me such joy is only causing me pain now. I'm not sure yet, but I know you'll live because you promised him you would. You'll live because he'd die 1,000,000 times for you just so you can live. And you'll keep your promise no matter how long it takes because he's only free if you are. I have no doubt about that. I know my brother well, just as well as I know you. And I know freedom is what mattered most to both of you. So be free. Live your life. Laugh, love, and fly. Those were his words. Honor them. We don't need to talk anymore. We're lost in our own heads as we walk the final path back to the monstrous mansion that seems even bigger with Bentley gone. How can I continue to sleep in this house without him? How can I enter our room without him? I haven't gone inside that sacred place since he died. I can't stand the thought of going in there. But as we enter the house, I realize I need to climb into our bed. I need to smell his beautiful musk and pine scent. I need to feel as if he's right here holding me tight. I give Steffi a final hug and then walk down the hallway and step into our bedroom for the first time since returning from our honeymoon. The scent of Bentley surrounds me, and I fall to my knees and weep. I close my eyes, and I can almost imagine him coming up to me, picking me up, and carrying me to our bed. But that doesn't happen. I don't know how long I weep on the floor. I again wonder how I can possibly keep my promise to him to live. I don't want to. I want to be with him. I finally get up and I move to our bed. I run my hand across the comforter. Its blues and greens are soft and smooth. We didn't have time to redecorate the room, so it's still all Bentley. It's beautiful. I know I won't change a single thing. I close my eyes and rub the softness of the blanket, thinking about our first night as man and wife in this room, in this bed. It had been beautiful. It had been magical. Every moment with Bentley had felt that way. Our wedding night had been different, though. Our wedding night had been special. We were sharing something with each other we'd shared with no other. It had truly made us one. It forever would. I slowly strip off my clothes and climb beneath the sheets, wanting nothing between my skin and the scent of my husband. I curl up into a ball and cling to his pillow and inhale him while I pull the blanket close to me. I talk to Bentley for a while. There's no response. Finally, I let the tears come again, and then I cry myself to sleep. Somehow, somewhere, in the middle of the night, I feel Bentley's arms come around me. He's holding me, and he's whispering in my ear, telling me it will all be okay. I finally stop stirring, stop twisting and turning and moaning. I do this because I know Bentley is still here, that he's still protecting me, that he's still loving me. I know that he hasn't left me. He's just with me in a different way.